For more on that story, I'm now joined by Steward Stogel, UN correspondent for the Time magazine in New York. He joins us on the phone. Steward Stogel, thank you for joining us. Mr. Sarkozy has said his country's presidency of the European Union has gotten off to a bumpy start. He's pretty right, isn't he? First it was the Irish, and now Poland seems to be opposed to the Lisbon Treaty. Any specific reason why Poland has broken ranks?
Well, I would think, just from an observer across the pond, that if it's not good for the Irish, and the Irish are setting an example, why should the other countries be any different? I think the issue here is that there's no single criteria for voting EU acceptance across the entire European Union. The rules are changing from country to country, and a few nations, like even Germany, are beginning to have second thoughts as to what's really going on.
Now, France seems to have a lot on its EU leadership agenda, but EU countries don't seem to achieve what they initially set out to achieve, do they?
No, let's be honest. What's really happening here is that you really got the French and the Germans looking to become the dominant players in the EU, and a lot of the smaller countries are getting worried about being stomped on by the big two. And of course, then there's always the British, and the British won't even accept the euro. So, I mean, this is a rather disjointed family, not putting it mildly.
Now, do you think the European Union will proceed with reforms of the Lisbon Treaty with Ireland and Poland off the ticket?
It's going to be very hard. I think that the Lisbon Treaty is really going to have to be reworked in several key areas. There's trade, there's defense. France is still not really a full member of NATO insofar as the military alliance, though Sarkozy claims they're going to reintegrate themselves into the alliance. You've simply got a lot of folks going in different directions, and it's really unclear as to what the final shape of a European Union is really going to be.
And finally, Steward Stogel, do you think that the Irish may change their minds about the treaty anytime in the future?
I'm not really sure, and I think that's why Sarkozy is taking such a high-profile attitude. I think he sees several real problems, fissures or cracks developing within the EU, and I think he's hoping that by taking a high profile and using France's quote-unquote clout, that he might be able to reintegrate everybody into a cohesive force. But I don't see that coming anytime soon. And with the new American president going to be sworn in next January, that could be a wild card in the European Union.
Steward Stogel, UN correspondent for the Time magazine in New York. Thank you for joining us.